Welcome back to Easy English Talk podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Easy English Talk podcast. It's great to have you here with us today. Hi, Priya. How has your day been going so far?
Hi, Ryan. My day has been really good. Thank you for asking. I spent the morning reading and organizing some notes. How about you? What have you been up to?
That sounds peaceful. I've been preparing for today's episode and thinking about how we can make it really helpful for our listeners. So, to everyone listening or watching right now, we'd love to know where you're joining us from today. Are you at home, at work, or maybe traveling somewhere? Please share in the comments below.
Yes, and we'd also love to hear if this podcast is helping you improve your English and grow as a person. Your feedback really means a lot to us.
Absolutely. Your thoughts and experiences help us create better content for you. So please, take a moment to share your story with us in the comments. Today, we are discussing the best habit for good English.
This is such an important topic, Ryan. So many people want to speak English well, but they don't know which habit will actually help them the most.
Exactly. If you clicked on this episode, you probably want to know the one thing that will truly change your English learning journey. And by the end of today's conversation, you'll understand exactly what that habit is and how to build it into your daily life.
That's right. We're going to give you something practical, something you can start using right away, not complicated theories, just one powerful habit that really works.
So let's start by talking about the problem. Why do so many people study English for years but still struggle to speak confidently?
That's a great question. I think the main issue is that people focus too much on learning rules and not enough on actually using the language.
Right. They spend hours memorizing grammar tables and vocabulary lists, but when it's time to have a real conversation, they freeze.
Exactly. The knowledge is there in their head, but they can't bring it out naturally. It's like having a toolbox full of tools, but not knowing how to use any of them.
That's a perfect comparison. And this happens because most learners are stuck in what I call passive learning mode.
Passive learning mode. What do you mean by that?
I mean, they're always receiving information but never producing it. They watch videos, read books, and listen to podcasts, which are all good things, but they never practice speaking themselves.
I see. So they're training their eyes and ears, but not their mouth and brain working together.
Exactly right. And here's the thing. Your brain learns differently when you actively use language compared to when you just absorb it.
That makes sense. When you speak, you have to think quickly, choose words, and form sentences in real time. It's much more challenging.
Yes, and that challenge is exactly what builds real skill. It's like learning to swim. You can watch swimming videos all day, but you won't actually learn until you get in the water.
True. And many people are afraid to get in the water, so to speak. They're scared of making mistakes.
Fear of mistakes is another huge problem. People think they need to be perfect before they start speaking, but that's completely backward.
Right. Mistakes are actually how we learn. Every mistake teaches us something new and helps us remember better.
Absolutely. But because of this fear, people delay speaking practice for months or even years. They tell themselves they're not ready yet.
And meanwhile, they keep consuming more and more lessons, thinking that will prepare them, but it just keeps them in the same passive pattern.
Exactly. It becomes a cycle. They study more to feel ready, but they never feel ready because they never practice the actual skill they want to develop.
So, what's the solution? What's the best habit that can break this cycle?
The best habit for good English is this. Speak English out loud every single day, even if it's just to yourself.
Speaking out loud every day. That sounds simple, but I know it's powerful.
It is simple, and that's what makes it so effective. You don't need special equipment, you don't need a partner, and you don't need much time.
So, even if someone lives in a place where nobody speaks English, they can still practice this habit alone.
Absolutely. In fact, speaking to yourself is one of the best ways to build confidence and fluency without pressure.
I love that. But let's be specific. What should people actually talk about when they practice speaking?
Great question. The key is to talk about your real life, your thoughts, and your experiences. Don't try to memorize scripts or repeat textbook sentences.
So they should describe what they're doing, what they're thinking, or what they see around them?
Exactly. Imagine you're making breakfast. You can say out loud, "I'm making coffee now. I need to heat the water. I'm pouring it into my cup."
That's so practical. It connects language to real actions and builds natural speaking patterns.
Right. And the beautiful thing is, you're practicing vocabulary you actually need, not random words from a list.
This reminds me of how children learn their first language. They talk about what's happening around them.
Exactly. Children don't study grammar rules first, they just start speaking and naturally improve over time.
So adults can use the same natural method. They just need to give themselves permission to sound imperfect at first.
That's the key word, permission. You have to allow yourself to make mistakes and sound awkward sometimes.
And since you're speaking to yourself, nobody else is judging you. You can experiment freely.
Exactly. It's a safe space to try new words, test different sentence structures, and find your voice.
I think another benefit is that it makes English feel more personal and less like a school subject.
That's a really good point. When you talk about your own life, English becomes your language, not just something foreign you're studying.
So how much time should someone spend on this habit each day?
Even 5 to 10 minutes can make a huge difference if you do it consistently.
5 to 10 minutes. That's very manageable for anyone, no matter how busy they are.
Right. And consistency matters more than length. 10 minutes every day is much better than 1 hour once a week.
Because your brain needs regular practice to build strong connections and keep the language active.
Exactly. Think of it like exercise. Regular, short workouts are better than occasional long ones.
That makes sense. So what are some other ways people can practice speaking to themselves throughout the day?
Well, you can narrate your activities as you do them. You can also describe what you see when you're walking or traveling.
Like looking out the window and saying, "I see a blue car. There's a tree with green leaves. A woman is walking her dog."
Perfect example. You're practicing observation skills and language skills at the same time.
And you can make it more interesting by asking yourself questions and answering them.
Yes, you could ask, "What am I grateful for today?" and then answer in English. Or, "What was the most interesting thing I learned this week?"
Those questions also make you think more deeply, which is good for your mind and your English.
Exactly. You're building thinking skills and language skills together. It's double the benefit.
I also think people could practice explaining things they know about, like their hobbies or their work.
That's excellent practice. If you love cooking, explain a recipe out loud. If you work in technology, explain what you do as if teaching someone.
And when you explain something, you really find out what vocabulary you're missing.
True. You might realize you don't know how to say certain things, and that tells you exactly what to study next.
So this habit actually guides your learning in a natural direction.
Yes, instead of randomly studying everything, you learn what you personally need based on what you want to express.
That's so much more efficient and motivating.
Now, some people might say, "But I need someone to correct my mistakes. How will I improve if I'm just talking to myself?"
That's a fair concern. What would you say to that?
I would say that self-correction happens naturally when you speak regularly. You'll notice when something doesn't sound right, and you'll adjust.
And as you listen to more English content, you'll compare your speaking to what you hear and naturally improve.
Exactly. Your brain is very good at noticing patterns and making adjustments over time.
Plus, there are ways to check yourself. You can record your speaking and listen back to it.
That's a great tool. When you listen to yourself, you can hear your pronunciation, your speed, and your clarity.
It might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's one of the fastest ways to improve.
Absolutely. You become your own teacher, which is a powerful skill to develop.
And if people want feedback from others, they can still practice speaking to themselves and also join conversation groups or find language partners.
Right. The daily self-practice builds your foundation, and then conversations with others help you test and refine your skills.
So it's not about choosing one or the other. It's about making speaking a daily habit in whatever way works for you.
Exactly. The key is consistency and actually using your voice, not just your eyes or ears.
I want to mention something important. Some people feel shy even speaking to themselves because they think it's strange.
I understand that feeling, but it's actually completely normal and very common among successful language learners.
Yes, many people who speak multiple languages see that talking to themselves was a crucial part of their journey.
It's a private practice that builds public confidence. What you do alone prepares you for real conversations.
And once you start, it becomes natural very quickly. It stops feeling strange after just a few days.
Right, your brain adapts and it becomes as normal as thinking silently.
Let's talk about another important aspect. What should people do when they don't know a word they want to say?
Great question. When you're speaking and you get stuck, don't stop. Try to explain the word using other words you know.
So instead of stopping to look it up, you practice describing it.
Exactly. If you can't remember the word refrigerator, you might say, the cold box where I keep food.
That's actually a valuable skill for real conversations, too. Sometimes you need to work around words you don't know.
Absolutely. It builds creative thinking and keeps your speaking flowing naturally.
And later, when you finish speaking practice, you can look up the words you missed and add them to your vocabulary.
Right. This way, you learn words you actually tried to use, which means they'll stick in your memory better.
The context and the need make the learning stronger.
Exactly. It's much more effective than memorizing random words from a list.
So this habit really creates a cycle of improvement. You speak, you notice gaps, you learn what you need, and you speak better next time.
That's the perfect summary. It's a self-sustaining cycle of growth.
Now, I think some people might wonder if they should focus on pronunciation when they practice speaking to themselves.
Pronunciation is definitely important, but don't let it stop you from speaking. Focus first on fluency and expressing your ideas.
So get comfortable speaking first, then work on improving the sound quality?
Yes, if you worry too much about perfect pronunciation from the beginning, you'll speak less and progress slower.
That makes sense. It's better to speak with imperfect pronunciation than not speak at all.
Exactly. And as you practice regularly, your pronunciation will naturally improve because you're training your mouth muscles.
Your mouth literally learns the positions and movements needed for English sounds.
Right. It's physical training, not just mental. That's why consistent practice is so important.
And people can gradually add pronunciation practice by listening to specific sounds and imitating them.
Yes, but that should be additional practice, not a barrier to speaking freely.
I think it's also worth mentioning that this habit helps with thinking in English, not just speaking.
That's a crucial point. When you speak regularly, you start thinking in English instead of translating from your native language.
And that's when English really becomes natural and automatic.
Exactly. Translation in your head takes time and makes speaking slow and difficult.
But when you think directly in English, the words come faster and conversations flow more smoothly.
Right. And building this habit is how you make that transition happen.
So speaking to yourself is actually training your brain to think in English.
Yes, and that's one of the most valuable skills you can develop.
Let's give people some specific ideas for making this habit easy to maintain.
Good idea. First, connect it to something you already do every day.
Like brushing your teeth or making breakfast?
Exactly. If you practice English while making your morning coffee, it becomes part of your routine.
And you don't have to remember to do it separately. It's already built into your day.
Right. Another tip is to keep it enjoyable. Talk about things that interest you.
If you love sports, describe a game. If you like nature, describe what you see on a walk.
Yes, when practice feels interesting, you'll want to do it instead of forcing yourself.
And you can change the topic every day to keep it fresh.
Absolutely. Variety keeps your brain engaged and helps you practice different types of vocabulary.
What about people who feel they need structure or guidance?
They can use simple prompts to get started. Questions like, what did I do yesterday? Or, what are my plans for tomorrow?
Those are helpful because they give direction but still let you speak freely.
Exactly. You're not memorizing scripts, just following a simple guide.
People could also describe photos they see or imagine different scenarios.
That's great practice too. You can look at a picture and describe everything you see, then imagine what's happening in the scene.
It makes practice more creative and fun.
And it builds your descriptive skills, which are useful in many types of conversations.
I want to emphasize one more time how important it is to not judge yourself during this practice.
Yes, that's critical. Your goal is not perfection. Your goal is practice and progress.
Every time you speak, you're getting better, even if you make mistakes.
Mistakes are not failures. They're proof that you're trying and learning.
And the more comfortable you become with making mistakes in private, the less they'll bother you in public.
Exactly. You build mental strength along with language skills.
So this habit really develops confidence as much as fluency.
It does. And confidence is what allows you to use your English in real situations.
You can know a lot of grammar and vocabulary, but without confidence, you won't speak.
Right. And confidence comes from practice, not from more studying.
So the best thing anyone can do today is start speaking, even just for a few minutes.
Absolutely. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now and you'll become ready through practice.
Even if it feels awkward at first, keep going. It gets easier very quickly.
Yes, and you'll be surprised how much progress you make in just a few weeks.
The improvement happens faster than most people expect.
And once you see results, it motivates you to continue, which creates even more progress.
It's a positive cycle that builds on itself.
Now, let's talk about one more benefit of this habit that people might not expect.
What's that?
Speaking English regularly helps reduce anxiety about speaking in real conversations.
Because you're training your brain to be comfortable producing English under any circumstance.
Exactly. When speaking becomes a daily habit, it feels normal instead of stressful.
So when a real conversation opportunity comes, you're already warmed up and ready.
Right. Your brain doesn't have to shift into a special mode. It's already in English mode.
That's such a valuable benefit. Many people struggle with nerves when speaking.
Yes, and this habit directly addresses that problem through regular exposure.
It's like the difference between someone who exercises daily versus someone who only exercises once a month. The daily person is always ready.
Perfect comparison. Consistency builds readiness.
So, to summarize everything we've discussed, the best habit for good English is to speak out loud every day, even to yourself.
Yes, it's simple, practical, and it works. You don't need special resources or perfect conditions.
You just need a few minutes and the willingness to use your voice.
And the benefits go far beyond just language. You build confidence, reduce anxiety, and develop natural thinking patterns.
You also discover exactly what you need to learn next, which makes your study time more effective.
Right. This habit transforms English from something you study into something you actually use and live with.
And that's when real fluency begins to develop.
So our message to everyone listening today is simple. Start speaking today. Don't wait.
Choose any topic, set a timer for 5 minutes, and just start talking about your day, your thoughts, or anything you see around you.
Do it again tomorrow and the next day, and watch how quickly you improve.
You'll be amazed at the difference this one habit can make.
We really hope this episode has given you clear direction and motivation to take action.
Remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to start and keep going.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We truly appreciate every one of you.
Yes, thank you for listening and for trusting us to be part of your English learning journey.
And before we finish, we want to invite you to explore other episodes on our Easy English Talk podcast channel. We have many topics that can help you improve your English and grow as a person.
Each episode is designed to give you practical value and real improvement. We'd love for you to continue learning with us.
So take a look at our other episodes, find topics that interest you, and keep building your skills with us.
We're here to support you every step of the way. Thank you again, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Take care, everyone, and remember to practice speaking today. Goodbye.
Goodbye.